Lewis Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari marks the beginning of a completely new and deeply emotional chapter in his long and celebrated Formula One career. There always comes a moment in the life of every racing driver when speed is no longer a raw instinct, but rather a form of higher awareness, an evolved understanding of what it means to drive and to live for racing. At 40 years old, the seven-time Formula One world champion now looks at the sport from a completely different perspective, that of a man who has raced for decades, achieved nearly everything imaginable, and yet continues to search for something more meaningful. Lewis Hamilton now understands that the raw power of an engine, no matter how advanced or dominant, means little without the soul that breathes life into it. Today, for him, that soul has a single name that represents passion, tradition, and artistry: the Prancing Horse of Maranello. 2 decades after his very first day behind the wheel of a Formula One car, Lewis Hamilton has found himself at the heart of Maranello, surrounded by the heritage and emotion that define Ferrari. He is no longer the young dreamer who once watched races on television and imagined himself one day among the best. He is now a man who has seen everything, won everything, and conquered nearly every record in the sport. Yet despite that, he still feels the need to look deeper, beyond trophies, beyond statistics, and toward a more personal and emotional journey. His entry into the legendary Scuderia Ferrari did not come with the noise of a revolution or the flash of an extravagant announcement. Instead, it came with the quiet, powerful energy of a return to something pure, almost as if he were rediscovering the essence of why he fell in love with racing in the first place. For Lewis Hamilton, joining Ferrari was not simply about career progression or chasing more victories. It was a symbolic act, a reunion with the roots of passion and purpose that transcend the mere concept of competition. It was, in many ways, an act of love. Sitting inside the cockpit of a Ferrari Formula One car was not just a professional step or a sporting decision. For Lewis Hamilton, it was the meeting point between destiny and passion, between his own story and the timeless legacy of the team. Where others might see only a racing machine built for speed, he sensed a deep connection, a bond formed by history, heritage, and emotion. It was not the youthful thrill he once felt in his early days at McLaren or Mercedes, but rather a more mature, reflective feeling, almost romantic in nature, where speed blends seamlessly with gratitude and respect. The color red, long associated with the beating heart and the power of myth, has become for the British champion the perfect expression of everything he has been searching for over the past few years. Within the walls of Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton rediscovered not only the beauty of automotive design, but also the artistry of mechanical perfection, and above all, a renewed sense of belonging that transcends all boundaries of nationality and culture. Maranello welcomed him as one of its own, recognizing in him a kindred spirit, an artist of speed, a relentless perfectionist, and a man who sees his car not as a tool, but as an extension of his own soul. Over the months, Lewis Hamilton has come to see Ferrari not simply as a Formula One team, but as a complete culture, a living and breathing organism that embodies Italian spirit in its purest form. Italy, with its language, gestures, flavors, and emotions, revealed itself to him in a way that no other country had before. Every element of life in Maranello vibrates with an energy that seems to exist only there, an energy rooted in passion and pride. Lewis Hamilton soon realized that behind every piece of technology, every data chart, and every engineering calculation, there are human beings driven by pure passion. He found people who approach everything, even a casual discussion about food, with intensity and care, as if every plate were a new racing circuit to be explored and perfected. This immersion into Italian culture showed him that passion is not chaos, as it may sometimes appear, but a vital and irreplaceable driving force. Where British precision often measures, plans, and calculates, the Italian mindset feels, interprets, and expresses. And within this contrast, Lewis Hamilton discovered a balance that resonated deeply with his own evolution as both a driver and a person. The differences he once feared would create barriers, instead dissolved in the warmth of human connection and openness. What he found in Maranello was not only a group of skilled engineers and mechanics, but a family united by emotion, intensity, and a shared dream. This deep cultural exchange taught Lewis Hamilton that success in Formula One is not just about machines, engines, and numbers. It is about people. It is about the bonds that form between individuals who live and breathe for the same cause. In Ferrari, he has seen that the secret of greatness lies in placing the person before the machine, the soul before the result, and the journey before the destination. When two names as iconic as Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari come together, the entire world takes notice. The British driver knew perfectly well that his union with the Italian Scuderia would create a global reaction, echoing far beyond the world of motorsport. Yet, even for someone who has experienced nearly every possible emotion in Formula One, the reality of the partnership exceeded all expectations. The weight of responsibility became almost tangible. The passion of millions of fans, the pressure for immediate victories, and the immense history of a brand that has always refused to compromise on excellence. Lewis Hamilton understands, however, that true greatness cannot be rushed. The building of a new legend requires patience, persistence, and faith. As he himself often reflects, Rome was not built in a day, and neither will a victorious Ferrari be rebuilt overnight. Creating a winning project means merging people, ideas, cultures, and emotions into one unified vision. For this reason, Lewis Hamilton has thrown himself fully into the process, contributing not only as a driver, but as an integral part of Ferrari's rebirth. He has been actively involved in team discussions, development directions, and the long-term mission to bring Ferrari back to the top of Formula One. Inside the historic Italian team, the seven-time Formula One world champion has discovered that only by fully living the team from the inside can one truly understand what Ferrari represents. After spending nearly 2 decades in environments known for mechanical precision and technical dominance, he has found himself in a place where perfection coexists with instinct and reason lives alongside emotion. It is a universe where the heartbeat of the factory echoes through every workshop and every decision carries a sense of pride and tradition. Today, Lewis Hamilton is no longer seeking to dominate speed. He seeks to harmonize with it. His relationship with racing has matured into something far deeper than pure competition. Every day, he continues to work meticulously on his preparation, on his physical and mental balance, and on the energy he brings into the team. His focus is no longer on proving his worth, but on building something lasting, something that will remain even when his racing days are behind him. For Lewis Hamilton, this chapter is about leaving a mark that goes beyond trophies and titles. At 40 years old, with 7 world championships already written into history, his goal now is to shape a legacy that will stand the test of time. The partnership between Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari represents much more than a driver joining a team. It is the meeting of two souls defined by passion, courage, and relentless pursuit of excellence. In the end, what unites them is not just the desire to win races, but the deeper understanding that Formula One at its core is about emotion, about human beings chasing perfection together. Lewis Hamilton's journey with Ferrari is, above all, a story of rediscovery, of love for the sport, of connection with culture, and of the timeless bond between man and machine. Because for Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari is no longer just a team, it is a bond, a story, and a legacy in motion.